नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधागोविन्दगोस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते प्रभुपादिय देवं गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी ग्राम्य जननिस्तारिणे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वन्दे गुरून् ईशभक्तान् ईशवतारकान् तत्प्रकाशांश्च तत्शक्ति कृष्णचैतन्यसंज्ञकम्। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। कृष्ण लीलामृतसार तार सत सतधार दशदिक बहे जहाते से चैतन्य लीला सरोवराख्याय मनहं सचराहताते। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, we have started discussing the first verse of the Mangalacharan prayer by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Bande Gurun Isha Bhaktan Ishamishavataраkan Tat Prakashangscha Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam. That Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who has come with his entourage and describing how Krishna enjoys in 6 features that starts with Guru Tattva. Here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, so far he has described Guru, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru and Bhakta. Now today we will discuss Avatar, Prakash and Shakti. Okay. So in this way we will complete the first verse of Mangalacharan prayer today. So in text number 64, last time we were discussing about সেই ভক্ত গণ হয় দ্বিবিধ প্রকার পারিষদ গণ এক সাধক গণ আর. So the devotees of the Lord are of 2 types. Personal associates, they are called parsadas, and sadhak gana, those who are practitioners. And there Prabhupada has very clearly explained that those devotees who are attracted to the Lord by the opulence of the personality of Godhead, they go to Vaikuntha. That means those who serve the Lord in awe and reverence, they go to Vaikuntha. And the others who are attracted by nuptial love, they go to Goloka Vrindavan. So, Vrindavan. Now, in text number 65 through 67, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami will describe Avatar Tattva, that is, incarnation of the personality of God. ईश्वरेर अवतार ये तीन प्रकार, अंश अवतार आर गुण अवतार, सत्यावेश अवतार तृतीय मत, अंश अवतार पुरुष मत्स्यादिक जत, ब्रह्मा विष्णु शिव तीन गुणावतारे गणी, सत्यावेश सनकादि पृथुव्यास मुनि. So while describing about the incarnation of the personality of Godhead, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Ishwarer avatar e teen prakar. So categorically, he has divided the incarnations into three. What are those? Angsha avatar. Angsha avatar means partial incarnations. Then Guna avatars, which is called qualitative incarnations, and Shakti-avesh avatar, the empowered incarnations of the Supreme Lord. So this now we are going to discuss about one after another Angsha avatar. Okay. So who is Angsha avatar? Now to discuss about Amsa, we know if we say Amsa, living entities are also Amsa. But here we are not talking about Amsa. Of course, living entities are called Vibhinna Amsa. Mamai Vamsa Jiva Loke. In that verse, even though Krishna is saying, my Amsa, but there living entities are described as his Amsa as called Vibhinna Amsa. But here, when we are categorically describing about the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, so the Amsa avatar should be referred to Swamsa, the partial incarnation of Swayambhu Bhagavan Krishna. So this Amsa or in Swamsa of the Supreme Lord have been described in Laghu Bhagavatamrita by Srila Rupa Goswami. He says, Tadrisho Nyuna Shaktim Yo Vyanakti Samsa Irita. So who is Samsa? Samsa is one. Tadrisha Nyuna Shaktim. That form actually similar to the Vilas expansions. We'll discuss about Vilas today, but displaying less potency. That's what it is saying. Nyuna Shaktim Yo Tadrisha. In Laghu Bhagavatamrita, while describing about this avatar tattva, just before this verse, Sri Rupa Goswami was discussing about Vilasa form of the Lord. Therefore, he is referring to Tadrisha. Tadrisha means just like, similar to the Vilasa expansions. Vilasa are also, they display less potency. So here it is saying that similar to the Vilasa expansions, but displaying less potency, they are called Swamsa. Among the Swamsas, like Swamsas here have been described like then Matsya and others, Matsya Avatar and others. So each of them, they appear in their own abode. So in the spiritual world, in the Vaikuntha world, they have their own Dhamma, abode. They become manifest there. So when the Swayambhu, he appears in the incarnation, the partial incarnation, these amsas, these partial incarnations, just like as we say, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, etc., they refrain from exhibiting all of their potencies. So we need to understand. In commenting to the verse, this Eti Chamsa Kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, in that verse, Krishna had been established as Swayam Bhagavan to explain how the Swamsa, the partial incarnation of Swayambhu Krishna, they refrain from exhibiting all their potencies. Prabhupada gives an analogy to describe this part. He gives the analogy of a bulb which illuminates a particular room. Prabhupada says, when in the room, small electric bulbs are displayed. That means, for example, if you have a room which is called maybe 100 square feet, okay, let us take the example. Then you may require a 100 watt or maybe 200 watt bulb, okay. So to illuminate that 100 square feet room, you need a bulb of 200 watt. But it does not mean that electric powerhouse is limited to 200 watt. No. That same powerhouse can supply power to operate, Prabhupada says, large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnations of the Lord display limited powers because so much power is needed at that particular time. As I gave you the example, to light a 100 square foot room, you don't require 500 watt halogen, right? Maybe 200 watt bulb, simple bulb will do the work. So how to understand this? That as much power is needed at that particular time. Srila Prabhupada explains this very nicely. So here we are discussing that the Amsa Avatar. Let us understand what is this Amsa Avatar. For example, Parsuram or Nrsimhadev. Let us talk about Nrsimhadev. This Nrsimhadev, he appeared to kill Hiranyakashipu. At that time, whatever power is necessary to just annihilate this demon, he displayed that. It doesn't mean that Supreme Personality of Godhead is only limited to that. No, he has got many other wonderful qualities in terms of taking care of his devotees, which is the work of his internal potency. So anyway, so in that way, this is how Amsavatar, the incarnations of the Supreme Lord, have been defined as like they are Karandoksai Vishnu, Brahmadoksai Vishnu, Kyodoksai Vishnu, Matsya, Kurma, etc. They are Amsa avatars. Then Guna avatars. We know the Lord, same personality of Godhead, he assumes 3 Guna avatars. For maintenance, he comes as Vishnu. For creation, he assumes the form of Lord Brahma, and for annihilation, he manifests himself as Shiva. They are actually these Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. They are Gunavatar, means they are Adhisthata. So they are the Adhisthata. They are the controller. They are the, or the exact power actually. So those who are inspired by those different moods, they go to those demigods. But in Srimad Bhagavatam it is explained that Shreyamsi Tatra Khalu Sattvatanur Nrinamshu. If one is interested in attaining the ultimate good, ultimate and absolute good, then he should worship Vishnu. Because only Vishnu is Suddha Sattva, having the Suddha Sattva body. But Brahma and Shiva, they don't have Suddha Sattva body. Okay. So in that way, so there are three Gunavataras. Then Sakti-Avesh avatar. They are the empowered incarnations. Same, Laghu Bhagavatamrita explains that Jnana Shaktiyadi Kalaya Jatra Visto Janardana. This Janardhan, he invests portion of his power. What are those power? Power, Jnana Shakti, that is knowledge potency, and Shakti, his strength, and Kala, and other energies are called Avesa. So in that way, like, sometimes he has to invest his power in some entities to take care of the entities in the earth when they are tormented. Narad Muni, Jnana Shakti Avesh, Bhakti Shakti Avesh. So, different incarnations are there. So, in that way, so these four Kumaras, they are Jnana Shakti Avesh. Narad Muni, Bhakti Shakti Avesh. And Prithu Maharaj is there. Then Vyasadev is there. They are coming in this category of Shakti Avesh. So, Angsha Avatar Purush Matsyadika Jata. So, in Angsha Avatar, we accept three Purushas and Matsya, etc. Then Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv, they are Gunavatar, and Satyavesh Avatar is Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan, Sanat Kumar, Prithu Maharaj, and Vyasadev. Then 68. দুই রূপে হয় ভগবানের প্রকাশ, একে তো প্রকাশ হয় আরে তো বিলাস. The personality of Godhead exhibited, the personality of Godhead exhibits himself in two kinds of forms, Prakasa and Vilasa. So these Prakasa and Vilasa are the two types of forms that the Supreme Lord, he manifests. So here, Prakasa and Vilasa have been defined in the next verses as Ekoi Vigraha Jadi Hoy Bahurup Akareto Bhedanahi Ekoi Swarup महिषी विवाहे जैछे कैलरास यहाँ के कहिए कृष्णेर मुख्य प्रकाश. So when we speak about the prakasa manifestations, they are defined here as saying Mahishi Vivahe Jaiche Kaila Ras. When Krishna, he performed his pastimes in Dwaraka, in getting married with 16,000 queens in Dwarka. At that time, he manifested himself into those many forms. And when Krishna performed Rasa dance, that time he manifested himself into many forms. So those manifestations are defined here as Prakasha. But in text number 68, when he's speaking, Eketo Prakash hoy areto Vilas. So the Vilasa form are his expansions, just like Balram, again Narayan, and Chaturbhyuha. So they are actually Vilas. Okay? So these Vilasas are defined as the Lord's same self forms, whose appearance differs from the Swayambhutas, but who display almost equal powers while enjoying the pastimes. So appearance differ from the Swayambhutas. Self-same form, whose appearance differs from this Swayambhuta, but display almost equal powers. So they are called Vilasas. How to understand this? We take the example. For example, this Narayana is the Vilasa Murti of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. And in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is explained, Leela Premna Priyadhikyam Madhurye Vyanurupayo. So these are the four qualities which distinguishes Krishna from his Vilasa Murti. Their forms are different. Like Krishna has 2 arms and the Narayana, he has got 4 arms. So here, Narayan very close to Krishna in terms of displaying the powers, qualities. So here, Krishna is distinguished by 4 qualities. Vaishnava Goswami describes Leela, Leela Madhuri, and his pastimes. Then Premna Priya Dhikyam. His devotees have exceptional love for him. That means he is surrounded by his loving devotees. Bhakta Jana Pariveshtitam. Then Madhurye Rupaya. Venu Madhuri and Rupa Madhuri. Venu Madhuri means he charms his devotees by playing his flutes. And he himself also takes pleasure in playing the flute. That is Venu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri. Sweet beauty. He has a very attractive, body feature, and he attracts everybody through his beauty. And these are only found in Krishna, not even in Narayana. So then the characteristics of Prakash manifestations are the principal Prakash, we can say. So Krishna, he expands himself in many forms, like he married 16,000 queens in Dwarka and in Rasa dance. So these Prakasha have been defined in Lahu Bhagavatamrita. Prakasastu na vedesu ganyate sahi na prithak. Means there is no difference between Prakash and Swayambhu. Okay? There is, Prakasha form is not separate from the body called Swayambhu. Okay? So to explain this, Srila Krishnas Kaviraj Goswami, he is taking the reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, where Srila Narad Muni, he speaks, Chitram bataitat ekena bapusa jugapat prithak Gruheshu jashta sahasram striya ekauda bahat. It is astonishing that Lord Sri Krishna, who is one without a second, expanded himself in 16,000 similar forms to marry 16,000 queens in their respective homes. Srila Chakravarti Thakur, he writes, एके नैव वपुषा जुगपत् एकस्मिन् एव क्षणे पृथक् पृथक् गृहेषु पृथक् पृथक् प्राचीराद्यावृतद्वाश्च सहस्रसंख्य गृहाङ्गनेषु उदावहत् परिणीतवान् चित्रं बत इत्यादि इति. So here, and then he says, Saubharjadayo hi kaya vyuham krityeva jugapat bahubhi stribhi ramante sma na tu eke naiva kayena iti bhava. So when we speak about Krishna, he has prakasa form which are similar to his own self form, there should be understood that he has got only one body. Okay? He has one body, but he can display the same body simultaneously in many different places. Somebody may ask this question, the rishis like Saubhari Rishi. He also had this yogic power by which he was able to present himself in many forms. And we know he was able to marry so many, girls, and he was enjoying. So here, Chakravarti Pad, he is also giving this, Saubharyadayo hi kaya vyuham kritva eva jugapat bahubhi stribhi ramante. So they were also manifesting their kaya vyuha. But there is a difference between Krishna kaya vyuha and the kaya vyuha of the rishis like Saubhari. He is saying, eke nevo kaya vyuha. Krishna has got only one kaya, one body. Therefore, Prabhupada, while kind of translating, he said he displays his body. See, that's why Prabhupada is very particular about even choosing English words. In text number 75, he describes, are displayed simultaneously. That means here, when he says, for example, when it is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Krishna, he became cows and calves. He became cows and calves for 1 year in Vrindavan. So Krishna was going into different houses, right? At the same time, he was coming to Nanda Baba's house. The same person, he was able to kind of, manifest. But here, you can see, even when Krishna returned from Hastinapur to Dwaraka, he went to meet with his mother and father, Vasudeva and Devaki. And after that, when he came out, simultaneously, he displayed his 16,108 forms, and he entered simultaneously into different houses. So all these pastimes, Narad Muni, he wanted to see And when Narad Muni came, even though Krishna simultaneously display his same body in different houses, but he is able to perform different activities. Somewhere he is playing with his children, somewhere he is playing game with his Mahishi, somewhere he is working in the garden. In different places he is doing different things, but he can perform with the same body. He does not have to duplicate his body. Whereas a yogi, they have to duplicate their body and they have to transfer the consciousness. But Krishna does not have to, because he is Vibhu. He is present everywhere. This is how we should understand the Prakasa form of the Supreme Lord when he became many while marrying 16,000 wives in Dwaraka. And also when Krishna was performing rasa dance. So that have been defined here. Rasotsavah sampravritto gopi mandala manditah yogeshwarena krishnena tasam madhye dvaya. When Lord Krishna, surrounded by groups of cowherd girls, began the festivities of the Rasa dance, the Lord of all mystic powers placed himself between each two girls. Srila Sridhar Swami, he writes, Tasam mandala rupena avasthitanam dvayar madhye pravistena tenaiva kanthe grihitanam ubhayatah samalingitanam. Means Krishna, he manifested himself in between the two gopis and who were in circle, mandala vartina, mandala mandita. So they were in round, in one circle, and Krishna, he just came between two gopis. But while dancing, each gopi, they had a very unique experience. What is that? He's saying, Kanthe, tenaiva kanthe grihitanam ubhayatah samalingitanam. Means the gopi is thinking Krishna is only embracing me and I am embracing Krishna. Even the Krishna is Hare Krishna. Even the Krishna is between the two gopis, but gopi is thinking he is only embracing me and I am embracing Krishna. Okay? Katham bhuta yam sarva striya swo nikatam mamevo ashlistavan iti manneran tena tad artham dvyor madhye pravistena tyartha. So when each gopi is thinking Krishna is only embracing me, how can you explain that Krishna is present in between the two gopis? Nanu ekasya katham tatha pravesha. Only one person, how he is kind of entering in that place. Sarva sannihite bhakutaha. How, being one person, he is simultaneously present with every individual gopi. Swaika nikatasthatva bhimanas tasam ityatah uktam. They had this abhiman that Krishna is only with me. How was it possible? Means Yogeshwarena iti. In this verse, Yogeshwarena Krishnena tasam madhye dvaya. Means Krishna being Yogeshwara, Achintya Sakti Netyartha. Because he has got inconceivable potency, therefore it is possible to manifest, to display the same body simultaneously in different places and giving the different experiences to his devotees. This is the unique feature Lord Krishna has. Like when the devotees are in different places and they are engaged in the devotional service unto Krishna, whichever way they want to see him, whichever way they want to reciprocate with him, Krishna can simultaneously manifest himself just to reciprocate with his devotees in that place. Because he is Sarva Vyakta, he is all pervading. Maya tata idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. Masthani sarva bhutani na chahante survastita. This is the inconceivable potency of Krishna. Simultaneously, he is all pervading. He is everywhere. He is there, he is here in Mayapur also. He is everywhere. He is with you, he is with us also. Just a question of you need to have a very powerful lens, camera, video camera, so that you can see him. He is everywhere. Okay, so that is what I've been said. This is our Krishna, Prakasa form. Okay, so Prakasa form, his form, qualities, and features are the same as original Swarupa. So that we will see when we come to text number 75. So then in text number 73 and 74, Pravishtena grihitanam kanthe swo nikatam striya jam maniran hastavad vimanas sata sankulam divokasam padaranam ato atyutsukyam bhritatmanam tato dundubhayo nedur nipetuh puspavristayo. So when Krishna was performing this pastime with the damsels in Braja, the gopis, he was embracing, and the gopis were thinking he is embracing me only, alone. At that time, to behold these wonderful pastimes, all the demigods, they appeared in the heaven, and the verses, they showered flowers and beat sweetly on their drums. They are very happy to see this form, this pastime of Krishna. Anekatra prakatata rupasyekasya jaikada sarvatha tatswarupaiva so prakasaitirjate. So now, in concluding, Prakasa have been defined as if numerous forms, all equal in their features, are displayed simultaneously, such forms are called Prakasa, Vigraha of the Lord. So this is a verse coming from Laghu Bhagavatamrita. So these have been, there is a very nice comment given by Baldev Vidyabhushan. He is saying, Prakasa Lakshanama. In this verse, the characteristic feature of Prakasa have been described. Anekatra iti. Nanda Mandirat Vasudeva Mandiracha Nirgata Krishnastasam Tasam Cha Mandireshu Jugavat Pravishta Vibhati iti ekasyaiva vigrahasya jugapat eva bahutaya viraja manata. So even though he has this one form while coming out from Vasudev's house, then he is entering into the different houses, but he is only one person simultaneously manifesting in many, displaying many features, many forms, we can say. So Prakasakya Veda Purvakta Vede Veda Ved Anya Eva Kutaha iti aha sarvatha iti akritya gunai lila bhi chaika swarupya ityartha. So akritya means his forms, guna, qualities, and lila, features, are displayed, and they are actually same. This is the point. All equal in their form, their pastime, and their qualities. So in that way, this is the explanation about his Prakasa. They are same as the original Rupa, Swarupa. So then, in the next He continues, ekoi, text number 76. Ekoi vigraha kintu akare hoy an, aneka prakasha hoy vilasatar nam. But when the same numerous forms are slightly different from one another, they are called vilasa vigraha. So slightly different from one another means they have different body features. Therefore, in this, the example have been taken like Balram. He has white complexion. Krishna has black complexion. Narayana, 4 hands and 4. Chaturbiho, Vasudeva, Shankar, Sunanuddha, Pradyumna. They have different body features. So they are called the Vilasa of the Swayamrupa. Okay? Swarupa manyakaram jat tasya bhati vilasatah prayenatma samam shaktya so vilaso nigadyate. When the Lord displays numerous forms with different features by his inconceivable potency. Such forms are called Vilasa Vigraha. We have discussed this. Okay. Now, text number 78. Jai Che Baladev Paravyame Narayan, Jai Che Vasudev Pradyumnadi Shankarshan. So here the example have been given who are the example of this Vilasa. They are Baladev and Narayan in Vaikuntha Dham and Chaturbhiha. They are the Vilasa Murtis, Vilasa Vigrahas. 79, 80. ईश्वरेर शक्ति है यतीन प्रकार एक लक्ष्मी गणपुरे महिषी गणार ब्रजे गोपी गणार सभाते प्रधान ब्रजेंद्र नंदन जाते स्वयं भगवान. ईश्वर शक्ति है ये 3 प्रकार. Now we need to understand. So while he is discussing about Vilasa Murti, Vilasa Vigraha of the Supreme Lord, then he is entering into describing the Shakti. We should not misunderstand the Shakti Tattva in this connection. Means, you see, the energies of the Supreme Lord, like Krishna, Ananta Shakti, Tatetin Pradhan, Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti, Chit Shakti, Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti Nam. And Antaranga, Bahiranga, Tatastha Kaijare, Antaranga, Swarup Shakti, Sabharu Pare. So Swarup Shakti, Maya Shakti and Jiva Shakti. These are the 3 main categories of energy. But here, the Swarup Shakti and Ladini Shakti also, the Anand, the pleasure-giving potency. Then this Swarup Shakti has got 3 divisions. Ladini, Sandhini and Sambit. But in this description, we are only discussing about Ladini Shakti. Not Sandhin, Sambiti, not Sandhini and Sambit, nor Jiva Shakti, nor Maya Shakti. Vishnu Shakti Paraprukta, Kshatragya Tatha Para, Avidya Karma Sanyanya, Tritiya Shakti Rishyate. So, but here we are discussing only about the Ladini Shakti of the Swarup Shakti division. So, therefore, Ishvara Shakti 18 Prakar. What are the 3 divisions? The 3 divisions, these 3 energies are Lakshmi Gan in Vaikuntha, and then queens in Dwaraka, and gopis in Vrindavan. When we say gopis in Vrindavan, we should not mistakenly think that here gopi means Jashoda Mata is also gopi. No, because she is the wife of Nanda Maharaj, Gopal. She is Gopi. But in this connection, the Vilasa Murti, we need to understand. So the explanation has been given, just like there is a verse in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, which is describing about these forms. Like in the next verse, it says, Swayamrup Krishner Kaya Vibhotar Sama Bhakta Sahite Hoy Tahar Avaran. So this Swayamrup means Ananyapekhi Jad Rupam Swayam Rupa Sauchyate. Ananyapekhi Rupam. Actually, the quality of being himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The quality of self being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's called Bhagavatta. This Bhagavatta of other lords are dependent on Krishna, but Krishna's Bhagavatta, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is not dependent on any gods. So that means when Krishna, he expands himself into Narayana Murti, like in Vaikuntha, Vilasa Murti, then Radharani, who is the Moola Shakti, she expands herself into different Lakshmis. That means we can say Narayanas are Vilasa Vigraha of Krishna. Similarly, the Lakshmis in Vaikuntha are the Vilasa Vigraha of Srimati Radharani. Then we can say when Krishna expands himself, that is the Prakasa Murti in Dwaraka. Then the Prakasa Murti of Radharani in Dwaraka will be the Mahishis. Because Radharani is Adya Shakti. She is the origin of all Shakti. So in that way, and even the gopis, they are also, part of Antaranga Shakti, Swarup Shakti. But in this case, these gopis have been defined as Swayamrup Krishner Kaya Vibhotar Sama Bhakta Saitah Tahar Avaran. So, in this connection, we need to understand that the Kaya Vibha, you can say, Krishna's Kaya Vibha. For example, the gopis. Here, the gopis have been defined as the R Sabhate Pradhan. The gopis are superior to even the Lakshmis and the queens in Dwaraka. Why? Because the gopis, they give the highest pleasure to Krishna, and Krishna also derives his pleasure from them. So in that way, they have been defined as Braje Gopigan are Sabhate Pradhan. So they are actually Kaya Vyuha. This Swayamrup actually. This Swayamrup Krishna, he expands himself, he manifests himself in these forms of the gopis. So they are not to be taken like some other forms manifested from some other source. They are also manifesting from his Swarupa Shakti. So in that way, now in concluding the discussion, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says, the personal associates of the primeval Lord Sri Krishna are his devotees who are identical with him. He is complete with his entourage of devotees. Small purport. So Krishna and his various personal expansions are non-different in potential power. These expansions are associated with further secondary expansions or servitor expansions who are called devotees. भक्तादि क्रमे कैलास भार बंधन ईश भार बंधन सर्वो शुभेर कारण. Now I have worshipped all the various levels of devotees. Worshipping them in worshipping them is the source of all good fortune. So we had discussed Krishna, Guru, Bhakta, Shakti. Krishna, Guru, Bhakta, Shakti, Avatar, Prakash. Krishna is Chayrupe Karen Vilas. How Krishna, he enjoys his pastimes in these six forms. Now, with text number 82, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami saying, Bhakta Adi Krame Kaila Sabhar Bandhan. So I have described all those forms. So then, Prathama Sloke Kahi Samanya Mangalacharan, Ditya Slokete Kari Vishesha Bandhan. So in the first verse, I have invoked a general benediction, but in the second, I have prayed to the Lord in a particular form. So this Sei Mangalacharan Hoytu Vidha Prakar, Vastu Nirdesh Ashirvad Ar Namaskar. So this Ashirvad Mangalacharan, the first actually he is saying the Samanya Mangalacharan. This is Bande Guru Nisa Bhaktani Samisa Avatarakan. Then the second verse, Bande Sri Krishna Chaitanya, this verse is the Vishesh Mangalacharan, particular form. And that verse is now, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is going to start describing. He says, Bande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanandau Sahodito Gaudodaya Puspavantau Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. Now he is going to discuss about this verse, the second verse, Bande Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Braje je virahe purve Krishna Balaram Koti Surya Chandra Jini Duhar Nijadham Sei Dui Jagate Re Ihaya Sadai Gaura Deshes Purva Saile Karila Udai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jahara Prakashe Sarva Jagat Ananda. So this Krishna and Balram, who formerly appeared in Vrindavan, now they have appeared on the eastern horizon of Gaudadesh. Gaudadesha. Gaudadesha Purva Saile Karila Udai. Why? Because they are very compassionate. So they are very compassionate. Now they have appeared in the eastern horizon of Gaudadesh. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jahara Prakashe Sarva Jagat Ananda. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they appeared, the whole world was surcharged with happiness. Surya Chandra Hare Jaiche Savandhakar वस्तु प्रकाशिया करे धर्मेर प्रचार यही मत दुई भाई जीवेर अज्ञान तमनाश करि कैल तत्व वस्तुदान अज्ञान तमेर नाम कहिए कैत धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष वांछादि सब. So here it is said, as the sun and moon drive away darkness by their appearance and reveal the nature of everything, these two brothers dissipate the darkness of ignorance covering the living beings and enlighten them with knowledge of the absolute truth. Actually, before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, everybody was engaged in performing this Aishwarya Marga Vidhi Bhakti. And they were at best going to the Vaikuntha by attaining 4 types of liberations. So now, people who did not have the information about how to attain to Krishna in his Braja form, now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared, and now Kaila Tattva Vastu Dan. So, when just like uh, in darkness we cannot see things properly, upon the rising of the sun we can see all the objects very clearly. So similarly, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda Prabhu who appeared in Gauda Desh. After that, they revealed the highest secret of devotional service for attainment of Krishna in Vrindavan. That means, like in our back to Godhead magazine, we always see this verse: Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hoy Andhakar, Jahan Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Radhikar. So this is how he appeared, and Agyan Tamer Naam Kahiye Kaita. The darkness of ignorance is called Kaitava. The ignorance is Kaitava Dharma. Okay? And the way of cheating, which begins with Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Vanchadi Sav. When one is engaged in execution of Dharma with a desire of Artha, Kama, and Moksha, that is actually cheating religion. That is called cheating religion. To explain that, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, now he is going to refer to the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, where he explains, this is the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mangalacharya. Dharma projita kaitavatra parama nirmatsaranam satam Vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapotrayon mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimba Parayishvara Sadhya Ridyavaruddhya Tetra Kritivi Shusrushana Takshanat. So here the explanation have been given. Dharma projita kaitavatra parama nirmat sranam satam. This Srimad Bhagavatam, it establishes parama dharma by rejecting kaitava dharma. Kaitava dharma means those activity, the dharma which is based on fruitive intentions that have been completely eradicated. And parama dharma nirupyate. This establishes the supreme religious principles. And who are the followers? Nirmat saranam satam. Nirmat saranam satam means who are 100% pure. Matsara is called one, Parotkarsha Sahanam Matsara. Means when one is not able to tolerate the well-being of others, the good of others, like envious person, is called Matsara. But when one is having envy in his heart, upon seeing the for example, spiritual growth of some other devotees, when one is very much envious, he is trying to put hindrance on their progress. Such a devotee is called much thorough devotee. He is an envious person. And according to Srila Vyasadeva, those devotees who are not pure in their heart, they have envy towards others, they cannot derive highest benefit from studying Srimad Bhagavatam. If you want to derive the Bhagavatam, the benefit from Srimad Bhagavatam, if you want to know the Tattva clearly, then first of all, we have to become free from this, unearthers. We have to be 100% pure. Then this Bhagavatam will tell us Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu. Vastava Vastum Vedyam. Vastava Vastu is Krishna. Then Krishna will be known. And this Bhagavatam is Shivadam. It gives all auspiciousness. And Tapatrayo Unmulanam, Adhyatmik, Adhidaivik, and Adhivautika Prayasa. The miseries which are coming from our body, miseries which are coming from the other living entities, and miseries which are coming from the demigods, everything will be completely eradicated by the study of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimba Parayishvara. Actually, this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is compiled by Mahamuni Vyasadeva, who is he and what he is doing? The way he has established description of Bhagavatam, by taking the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, we don't have to take shelter of Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, nothing. Even Upasana Kanda, it is above Upasana Kanda also. Bhagavatam is beyond Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. This is very important. Karma Kanda, people take shelter out of fruitive intentions. Jnana Kanda, they just want to speculate on the personality of Godhead. Highest their desire to attain moksha, want to merge with the effulgence, Brahman effulgence. And Upasana Kanda. In Upasana Kanda division, there are descriptions about worship of the different demigods. Then they can go to the demigod planets. But this Srimad Bhagavatam, it is speaking about the highest dharma, highest principles. He is saying that Kimba Parairishvara. Very important point. Srila Sridhar Swami writes in his commentary actually. Sridhar Swami commentary. Anyway, okay, it's not there, but I can explain to you. Sridhar Swami says, if somebody is taking shelter of the worship of other demigods, some may say that there's also a path given in the Vedic literature that we can also worship demigods, and eventually, those who are following Varnashram Dharma, they can eventually come to the platform of realizing God. Sridhar Swami is saying, Kimba Parairishvara, when you are worshipping, you are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, just worship Krishna. There is no need of worshipping any other God. Why? What is the difficulty? What is the kind of problem? Because Shastra recommends us to worship other gods. Why you are denying that? He is saying, even if you worship, follow that process of Karma Kanda or Jnana Kanda, and Lord will be realized after a very long time. Vilambena, after a very long time. And then he is saying, Kinchid Matra. You cannot get Krishna, Brajendra Nandan Krishna, by taking shelter of other process. This is the essence. Kinchid Matra. If you want to go to Brajendra Nandan Krishna, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming, that is what we are discussing. He is going to give us the highest tattva. that is Brajendranandan Shyam Sundar Krishna. So therefore, this Sadhya Hridyavarudhyate Prakritihi Sushrusubhi Tatkshanat. Kritivi. Kriti means those who are pure souls, those who have performed sufficient pious activities. For them, when they just desire to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Sushrusubhi. Sushrusubhi means just desiring to hear. Tatkhanat, immediately, without delay, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes established in the heart of such a person. He becomes at once captured. Very interesting point. So here, then Kritivi means, what is Punya? Kriti means Punya, karma, Punya karma. So here, in this Srimad Bhagavatam, it is explained, Punya Savana Kirtana. If you want to attain Brajendranandan Krishna Shyam Sundar, then the only way to attain him is through hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the point here. And that is Kriti. If somebody say, but Shastra recommends about execution of Punya Karma. Punya Karma means feeding the poor people, constructing house for them, giving them clothing, planting trees, digging well, making roads, so many things. These are all Punya Karma. So what is the use then? Why Shastra is saying that? In commenting to this verse, Jesam tu antagatam papam jaranam punya karmanam, there, Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur explains that when one performs punya karma, what happens? He comes to the platform of goodness. When, because he is performing these pious activities, he will definitely lose his attraction for material objects. He will renounce these material objects. As a result of which he will become less attached. And there will be a predominance of Sattva Guna. And then, through the predominance of Sattva Guna, he will be able to associate with a pure devotee of the Lord. Then, when he comes in contact with a pure devotee of the Lord, he starts Sravanam and Kirtanam. That is where he gets an entry to devotional service. So, in that way, when one simply desires to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead can at once be captured in the heart of such a devotee. Prabhupada giving a very elaborate purport, so I was thinking maybe we should read certain section. So, last paragraph he says, by contact with material nature, the living entities exhibit varied symptoms of the disease of material consciousness. To cure this material disease is the supreme object of human life. The process that treats this disease is called Bhagavata Dharma or Sanatana Dharma, real religion. This is described in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, anyone who, because of his background of pious activities in previous lives, is anxious to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, immediately realizes the presence of the Supreme Lord within his heart and fulfills the mission of his life. So, anyone who is desirous to fulfill his human life mission, then he should take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly. That is how we can attain perfection in our human life. So then next we will discuss from the next class from text number 92. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much, dear devotees.